Hello, everyone. It's great to be back up here with you. I am Sherinian with the United Nations Foundation, and it's my great honor to be moderating this next panel, which I think you will agree will be one of the most interesting conversations we will see today at Rio+Social, and I would say probably one of the more interesting conversations happening in Rio de Janeiro today. It is my great honor to be here with the Elders and Youngers. And we're gonna have this conversation in two phases. And I am pleased to be with here, as you know, with Gro Harlem Brundtland, the former Prime Minister of Norway, member of the Elders, and if she'll allow me to say so, someone that many people call the mother of sustainable development. So it's a great honor to have her here with us today. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. I am also joined by Mary Robinson, the former President of Ireland, member of the Elders, and advocate for climate justice and human rights. Thank you for being with us here today.
Thank you.
As all of you know, the Elders is, and these words are carefully chosen, and I think they're significant. The Elders is a group of independent, eminent global leaders working together for peace and human rights around the world. And as people who have seen the conversation around sustainable development in this important organization, it was founded in 2007 by Nelson Mandela, but being people who have seen this conversation, I'd like to pose two questions before we go on to the second portion of our conversation. The first question is for Prime Minister Brundtland. 20 years ago, you were here in Rio de Janeiro. Your dialogue and the words that you used were that these problems related to sustainable development were urgent. That was a description that you used at that time. I'd like to ask you to help us understand, 20 years later, how are you describing the problems today?
Well, they certainly are no less urgent. We are throwing, overstepping limits, which are the planet reacting to humanity's actions, much more even than what we knew in '92. So the tragedy is that the world understood. If you look at the declarations from Rio, they have the right messages. They say the right thing about where we need to move. It is the drama that we haven't been able as humanity to implement what we understood already 20 years ago.
And as we're here in Rio, and as you're voicing these concerns, I'd like to ask you, Mary Robinson, what is the voice of the Elders? What is the voice in terms of the significance of the voice, and what is the message that that voice is carrying here at the summit?
I think the most important thing, perhaps, is who brought us together, Nelson Mandela, and asked us to carry on a vision to make the world more peaceful, to triumph human rights, to reach out to those who feel they are excluded and don't have a voice, to address issues of injustice, discrimination, and what is preventing peace. And I think that really is the essence. We have a kind of moral authority. We are completely independent. We talk to those that others don't talk to. We go to places like North Korea. We try to also engage on theme issues, such as the discrimination against women and girls. And we helped put together a global partnership, Girls Not Brides, to tackle child marriage. We don't have any political power as such. We have moral power. And I think we also have a lot of experience. I certainly have learned a huge amount from my fellow elders, including Gru. And we do our best under the chairmanship of Archbishop Tutu. And he's always telling us we can do more. And it's been wonderful to be with these youngers who also challenge us, as I hope we can challenge them.
This challenge of sharing experience and doing more is probably the most exciting part about bringing you together here with the people you brought that we're going to meet in a few moments, and with everyone in this room, and with the world of social media today, because we're talking about different generations of similar problems living on the same world. So what we're going to see right now is a little bit about what the Elders and the Youngers have been doing in this project of the last, it's been 8 weeks, I understand, the last 8 weeks. They've been discussing new ways of thinking about these big world problems. They've been exploring pathways about practical action, not just talking about them. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a seat. All of you are going to watch a little bit about the Elders and the Youngers, and then we're going to be joined by an intersection of generations and an intersection of ideas up here on the stage. But in the meantime, let's learn about what the Elders and the Youngers are doing. Let's watch this video.
Rio 20 years ago was extraordinarily important. It gave us Agenda 21, it gave us the Climate Convention, it gave us diversity. There was a sense of being able to build on that, leading to the Kyoto Protocol.
But that's 20 years ago. What has happened since then? I can't see the implementation, and that's what needs to happen.
There are universities, centers across the world where young people are studying issues of sustainable development, which was unheard of 20 years ago.
It's very important to use this as a good opportunity to mobilize the public, especially the youth.
They acknowledge that the rights of young persons are important, they recognize that in the document, and that they also promise to ensure that this right is protected in the future.
The most important thing is that countries can agree on certain items that they are willing to report on and willing to move on.
A new culture that says you measure whether a country is developed by how its people are.
My generation is a global generation. We have the tools to collaborate across borders.
I'm part of the Occupy movement in Nigeria that trying to make sure we hold our government accountable to what they do.
Give the power to the people and let the people drive change.
What's your ideas? What's your opinions? Let the policymakers know.
Because only with the participation of everyone we're going to get to the changes we want.
You analyze what's around you, you see what's right and wrong, you move on it.
If necessary, interrupt. Make sure that in any context your voice is heard if you're passionate about what you believe.
And I have no doubt at all that you are going to succeed where we failed.
We need to change the situation, and that is not just a burden. It's really an opportunity to create something better.
So this is where the fun's going to start, because everyone says that they do this. Everyone says that they bring together the leading voices, the leaders on an issue, and the younger generation, but literally the elders and the youngers are the representation of something that's been happening over the last 8 weeks. That was exciting to see in the video, but we all together today are going to put this to the test. And this is a test because we're going to talk about it and we're going to see how that interaction takes place. As we were watching the video, some very remarkable people came up on the stage, and we're gonna introduce them to you right now. I had a chance to meet them, and I've been following them. I've been watching what they do on social media, and these are some people to watch. And we're thrilled to have with us, and I'm gonna mix up the order slightly, with your permission. I'm gonna ask for Marvin. Marvin, raise your hand. Marvin is over there, and Marvin is 23. He's an environmental advocate from China who founded the Big Appetite volunteer network. It's called the Big Appetite, I love the name. And it's currently he's doing an internship right now with UNDP in China and with the Carnegie Center for Global Policy, which is really exciting. So Marvin knows his stuff, 23 from China. We have with us Sara Svensson. Raise your hand, say hi to everybody. Sara's 27. She is a nonviolent environmental activist and advocate from Sweden. And she's interning with UNEP in Nairobi, and I'm hoping we'll hear a little bit about her experiences in your internship in Nairobi and your experiences being from Sweden. It's great to have a young person here from Sweden. We are, of course, joined on the stage by Pedro Telles, 23. You probably know Pedro. Pedro's on social media. He's a socio-environmentalist based in a little city called Sao Paulo, Brazil. And he currently works with the Vitae Civilis Institute. So we're happy to be in your home country. Pedro, thank you for having us. And then I would like to have, raise her hand, Esther Agbarakwe, whom I met recently, and she said, don't call me Esther, call me by my Twitter handle, which I loved. It was great to meet someone who was so active in social media and who was ready to engage and to talk. So the elders and the youngers are here with us. And it's a great chance for us to see something that's going to happen at the moment, because without rehearsal and without any advance notice, unless you changed since we've seen each other, without any advance notice, they're going to change the dynamic that usually happens. The elders aren't going to be asked for their advice. they're going to ask for the advice of the biggest problems of the youngers. So we're going to have that happen right now, and we're going to start, and Prime Minister Brundtland is going to be with the first question, and she's going to ask questions of 2 young people, and then we're going to see how that's going to work when Mary Robinson asks some questions. So first of all, let me make sure everyone has their microphones. Does everyone have their mics? Let someone have their mics. I'm going to pass this on to you. There you go. There you go.
Okay.
And let's get this started.
Yeah. So I'm starting with Esther. So Esther, when you came to Oslo with one of the other youngers in May and met all of us as elders, what was foremost in your mind to convey to us and to share with us as you now had a chance to share what a young person from Nigeria